Starting an automation agency is exciting, but let me tell you, running an automation agency comes with a lot of struggles. We are talking about mistakes that cost time, money, and sometimes even sanity. But hey, we learned a lot, and today I'm showing the 5 top lessons we've learned so that you don't commit the same mistakes. Stick around because if you're starting a business or an automation agency, this will save you a lot of headaches. So this is my experience I've had when doing an automation agency, right? So normally you have the woohoo moment, so you become very excited, you see like an opportunity which actually there's like really a lot of value you can provide for businesses. But then you need to start to see how, right? So normally it comes the excited moment, and this lasts for I'd say 1 to 3 months. It can vary a lot depending on the person. You try to see what you're gonna do, where you're gonna be focused. If you already have a niche or you wanna niche down, what do you wanna be focused on? So AI voice agents, more AI, more automation, which tools, right? So that's like the part where you're figuring everything out. And then you start to have some struggles and pains. You start to feel the pressure and you become a little bit frustrated if you see that you're not closing clients, right? So the first thing that you should do here is try to get use cases for free as soon as possible. Even if they are not paying you, it's important because it's more for you like a learning phase, because once you have use cases like we see above, it's going to be so much easier to sell your product. So basically you go to someone that you know, can be your aunt or someone within your family or friends that have a business, and tell them, hey, I'm going to do this for free. The only thing I'm asking in exchange is a testimonial and how much I've helped you, right? A video even better, because then it has so much more credibility, but also it gives you the opportunity to learn and see what kind of problems business might be having, right? So try to focus there. I'd say 3 to 5 good use cases if you can, not super long jobs, things that you can do in 3 to 7 days. So let's start with the problems and the mistakes. The first one is undervaluing your services. This is a mistake you cannot imagine how many times we've made because of a little bit of fear, if the client has a budget or not. Once you've learned or past that phase and you've got the use cases, when you really undervalue, let's say you charge for a service like 1.5K, you estimated this was going to take 4 or 5 days, but then the client wants more and more. First, maybe you have not defined well the scope of work in the proposal, and then maybe you're taking up to 1 month, and then you're in a very bad shape, you're very unprofitable, and you cannot serve so much customers because you don't have capacity. So yeah, don't undervalue your services. For example, we tell them to the customer straight, at least we need 4K to start something. So we also build prototypes. Those are much cheaper, but this is something that we can put together like 2, 3, maximum 4 hours, and we charge them for that at a very minimum amount. So really don't undervalue your services because you will be in a very bad situation afterwards. The second one is selling with no use cases, but I think this one relates very well to what I explained above. So you need something to work on when you're doing the negotiation phase. If you've got your process right, it will be structured like this. First, you get a call or a request for an appointment. Then you need to qualify the customer. Is it qualified or not? Normally, you do this through a discovery call, and you ask very basic questions like how your business is looking, when did you start. Don't be afraid to ask things like how much or how many customers they're earning. Then you can more or less have an idea of how much the business is making. But that's very important to qualify beforehand. We've also made the mistake of not qualifying, putting time into a proposal, and then the customer saying, yeah, but actually I can afford it. So you can skip all these if you qualify the customer properly, because after that you will go to the proposal phase. Then you need to understand a little bit how you can help the customer. You put the proposal together, then you have a little bit of negotiation normally, and then you will do the closure. So this is normally how it will be defined, and this helps a lot when you have use cases. If you don't have use cases, it's going to be very difficult to demonstrate to your customer that you've done this kind of work in the past, that you have this expertise. Focus on getting use cases for free so you can document everything in your website or whatever you're using, whatever you're showing your use cases. So it's so much easier to sell afterwards. Also, you will know what you're speaking about. You can use their jargon, their language, which is going to be very difficult otherwise. Lesson number 3 is you want to have your automations as scalable as possible. So kind of work always with the same softwares, kind of the same automations in customers, because like that, the first automation is going to take you a little bit more time, let's say like 3x. But then if you're serving that automation for a second time to another customer or a third time, every time it's going to take less time because you already have all the processes, all the templates. Maybe you need to switch one software for the other, but at the end of the day, you can just simply get the templates, customize a little bit for the customer, but it's so much profitable afterwards the projects that come afterwards, because you already did something very similar to a previous customer. So try to make your automations and your product as scalable as possible, because that way every project is going to be so much more profitable for you. Fourth one, and I think this one is linked to the first one, undervaluing your services. I think it's also linked to poor negotiation skills, and this is kind of also the fear of losing a customer a lot of the times. And it happens because, let's say, for example, you value a project at 7K, and then the customer say, but can you do it for 5.5 or 5K? And then because you're afraid that otherwise they're going to turn you down, you say, yeah, okay, let's do it for that price. We've done that. You cannot imagine how many times, because think that the customer already have in his mind the perceived value of 7K, even if they're paying 5.5. So they expect an automation or a product that is worth 7K. But first, they're paying much less. And normally, if they are already listening to you, they normally can afford it. So you should always try to find other paths to solve that objection. Maybe you can tell the customer to offer 1 month maintenance for free instead of, but never, always try to negotiate in your favor. Try to always push as much as you can, because at the end of the day, if you go low, then you can never go up. So try to go up, and then if there's no room for negotiation, go a little bit down, but always stay to a minimum. Okay, so the last one is failing to communicate value. So a lot of the times you will be talking with customers that they don't understand your language. They don't understand your jargon. They don't understand what an API call is. They don't understand what a webhook is. They don't understand really the value behind automations. So you really need to make them super easy what your value proposition is, what you're offering them. And at the end of the day, normally if your customer is very focused, then you can show it with data, how much they're going to save or how much more money they're going to make. Or otherwise, you can try to explain it in a different way with words or with different processes. But don't get too technical, because then they won't understand. And at the end of the day, what the customer wants is to save money and make more use of the resources, right? It's very important that you prepare beforehand how you're going to present the proposal, how are you going to present the project, so they really see the value on what you're going to make for them, because otherwise it's going to be a lost battle for you before starting. So yeah, these are actually the 5 things that I can think of. So when I was actually doing the video, I could think about 10 or 15 more, but I wanted to make this video as short as possible. These are, I think, like the top 5. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you want a video targeted towards another topic, let me know, because I'm planning to do these 2 videos weekly. I would love to know what you want the videos to be about, so I can prepare the content.